Welcome to In Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. Project Elevation Freedom Flow aims to address period poverty. Zakiya Gill, the Griot, has partnered with SNS Persad Supermarket and Project Hope TT to distribute 75 hygiene packages in her hometown of Guayaguayare. She joins us now with Operations Manager 3 for SNS Persad Supermarket, Ms. Judy Perrote. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to start off with you, please, Ms. Gill. Give us an idea of why this endeavor.
Good day, Dike. Thank you for having me again. In a nutshell, if I'm being very, very honest, the last time I did National Poetry Slam finals, which was, I believe, in 2021, my final piece was actually addressing period poverty. After the competition, Minister Randall Mitchell and I had a conversation, and he said, Zakiya, this is a very serious and pressing issue. I don't think most people understand. And it was along the line of me having the knowledge, having the proper networking, having the vision to implement it moving forward. So last year, initially, I self-sponsored 50 of the hygiene hampers myself. And it's only rightfully that I really believe in that whole it takes a village concept. And additionally, Guaya have really and truly poured in so much into me as a young lady growing up. It's only rightfully that I started here. So last year it was self-funded. It was very quietly, and I distributed 50 hampers. This year, however, many people were behind me, so we're doing it again and again this year. Like all when I'm running on mornings, people were stopping Zakiya. You have to do it again this year. So I was like, okay, no problem. So this time around, really and truly believing in partnership and SNS Persad and also Project Hope TT, who I have partnered with in the past and is ever so gracious and grateful to pour back into the Guayaguayare community. We made a partnership, and here we are.
All right, and thank you so much for that. And let me bring you in, please, Ms. Judy. Ms. Perrote, explain to me, because there are a lot of people doing things all over the place, but why would SNS Persad Supermarket decide, okay, well, you see, this project, this is something that we want to get behind, this is something that we want to partner with?
So besides being with this project, SNS has always been sponsoring a lot of groups in the area, even outside of Mayara Clara area, and seeing that we have opened a new branch in Freeport, we have extended our sponsorship to as far as the Cooper Central area. Project Hope is our main baby, which has been founded by one of our workers, Griot Rampart, and he's not here right now. It was his mind thinking that he needed to do something for our community and the less fortunate people in the area, and hence the reason this is one of the reasons that Project Hope was formed. So this is not our first initiative that we are doing. We have done in the past, I still have to say 3 to 4 years, and it has been ongoing. Every month we are always planning something within the community, and as I said, we in the Freeport area, and it's successful so far. And we are really into period poverty with Zakiya. Zakiya, who is one of our community activists. And so here we are with being in collaboration with her to have this event and this drive a success. There was one time, I think it was when COVID has, the start of COVID, we had done a small thing with a group from San Fernando, which was well executed, and a lot of people in the community supported it. Not just SNS, but community people had supported it. And it was a good way, and this being coming back, it's a very good initiative being done by Zakiya.
And very glad that you're able to be a part of it. Now, just saying on period poverty for a moment, please, Zakiya, break it down for me, because sometimes, especially, well, we say who feels it knows it. So when we talk about period poverty, what are some of the things that go into the equation? Is it a matter of just saying, okay, well, you don't have enough money to buy certain items, or what are some of the other things that pile on top of that?
Okay, so through much introspection, I realized that in the whole aspect of giving, right? Usually people will give food hampers, not taking into consideration sometimes, yes, they are grateful, but sometimes somebody just really need hygiene. And through conversation, if you're being real, if you are in need, if you are in lack, you would you would put food in front as opposed to your personal hygiene. So adding into that, let's think about, let's say, a young lady or a family who's not able to afford sanitary napkins for that period of the month. They may just have to skip school. So now education is being affected. It's still a very taboo topic. So now we're speaking about self-esteem issues, confidence issues, right? There are stories where young ladies are using toilet paper, magazines, anything really that could stop the flow. Opportunities. So let's say you have, for example, this is next week Saturday. Let's say you have this to attend, but your cycle is on you. You can't. That's basic woman empowerment is something that much people are ashamed to speak about, but it is there. So it's deeper than just not having.
Thank you so much. And Ms. Perrote, and I'm not sure if you're able to give me a figure, because sometimes people just, well, it's just a bag of, or it's just a, but sometimes when you don't know that actual financial value, you don't know how it can stretch, and then depending on whether or not you have a heavy flow on that cycle, that cost will increase as well. But I think an initiative like this really helps to bolster the theme for International Women's Day this year, which is investing in women. So what is your take on, what is the company's take on issues like this and that level of investment in women?
So first, I must let you know that our company, all right, so our director, Ms. Sunita Persad, is a woman. All her managers are women. We just have one male who recently joined us, but every one of us are female who, will experience that at some point in time, at some point in the month. However, we do hampers, as Zakiya would have mentioned, with hampers being given out to the less fortunate. And one of the things we don't ever really put into the hampers are Stay Free or the other brands, Kotex, as things like that. We will put toilet paper and other toiletries, excluding that. And seeing that she just spoke about it, that is something that our company will look into, especially when we're doing hampers for companies who are requested. We can ask, are there any female in this? And we could always put things like that, which was, that was a very important point that she raised there. And we have people who have mini marts, and what they do, they would buy a big pack of pad, and they would put into smaller packages and sell it to at a less, as a cheaper. They probably put like $3 for $5 like that, which would be economical for a less fortunate person. So that's a very good idea with putting sanitary napkins into hampers as one of our main drive. But our company, as I said, we are in partnership with Zakiya, and we are going full force with her, with whatever she has requested, and will be a success.
I'm very glad to hear that. And please go ahead, Zakiya.
I must say they made a very generous donation of 25,000. So towards ending period poverty in rural areas of Guayaguayare. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
And I'm pretty sure, Zakiya, that before you go, I'm pretty sure that people in the Rio Clara area will be looking forward to having it in, reaching as far as Rio Claro, not just me or
Of
Guayaguayare.
course, next other cycle, we could look along the
Yeah. Mm.
And that is one of the reasons I think that conversations like these are important, because sometimes something that may just be almost like, I don't want to say just common sense to one person, but it's so very visual and apparent to one person. And then in conversation with someone else, you realize, hey, we didn't think of that. That's something that we could do. That's something that we can go forward on. But speaking of going forward, we take a short break and we come back with more. We are speaking with Zakiya Gill, as well as Operations Manager 3 for SNS Persad Supermarket, Ms. Judy Perrote. Stay with us. We return after this. Welcome back. We are speaking with Zakiya the Griot Gill, as well as Judy Perrote, and we are looking at Project Elevation Freedom Flow, addressing period poverty in the rural areas of Guayaguayare. I hear just now things might be evolving, reaching past Guayaya, past Mayaro into Rio Claro, and you heard it here. But at the same time, looking at that level of women empowerment, do you think that affects how does that make what you do a little easier or a little better, Ms. Perrote? Looking at the fact that so much of the management level is female, and it seems as though SNS Persad is doing well to the point that they're actually reaching up to Central now, because it's St. Mary's Freeport side?
Yes. Yes.
So, sometimes people say if you want something done well, have a woman do it. So it feels as though this may be something along those lines.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. Definitely. Because I think being women, we have a further, I'm not in all due respect to the men, I think we have a further level of and to you. I think we have a further level of thinking when coming to women, personal hygiene, and having children also, that they would have those things experience. And yeah.
And looking at that level of empowerment, and I'll ask this to you, please, Zakiya, because you spoke about the fact that if someone does not have it as much as they would like, so they need to make a decision. Usually you're going to choose food, because this is one of the basic needs. So during that time on your cycle, you're going to be missing something else that you would like to do. Flip that. With these hampers in store, what does this allow individuals to do in terms of empowering women to working towards being their best selves?
Okay, not a problem. So the packages, they may probably give you at least 2 months, right? I'm still trying to figure out how to make it self-sustaining, meaning that it could be something that could be done every month. I haven't figured out that part yet. But the flip side of that is, apart from just hamper distribution, is also an awareness seminar where the ones who will be receiving the hampers and other specially invited guests, we actually have nurses from the Eastern Regional Health Authority who we have support from there. So they're getting both tangible and intangible. So they're getting knowledge, really and truly, how to manage your cycle, because it's things we take for granted. One thing I'm learning is never to live under the assumption that because I know, Miss Judy know, or because Miss Judy know, I know. So it is both, give tofu to the vegetarians and give the meat eaters meat. Everybody could get something tangible and intangible from Project Elevation.
And also give us a little more information about what is happening on the day, please, because we heard that we have nurses from the ERHA, they will be there. And I think one of the things that they're going to be speaking to is menstrual myths and misconceptions. And
Correct.
also speaks to what you're talking about, empowerment via knowledge as well. So give us a little,
Correct.
are there some of those myths that you know already that you want to share with us that they'll be kind of blowing out of the water on the day?
I think that some people believe when it comes to reproduction, safe period. Um, I think some of the myths is that pain in period is common, and these are deeper medical issues. Some people are of the belief if you have your period, you can't play sport or you can't do certain heavy stuff. So these are some of the misconceptions that will be debunked on Saturday, right? Additionally, Minister Ayanna Webster Roy, initially, she was supposed to be the future speaker, but she can't make it. But there is a replacement from her ministry, from her department, that will be giving the future address. But really and truly, which speaks to empowerment of women in rural areas, and really adhere to the theme this year of International Women's Day of investing in women, accelerating progress.
All right, thank
So
you
it's
so much.
a all-in-one. It's like a buffet, you know.
So if I may say something like Zakiya, what you can do is to take it to the schools also. Because I remember being a young girl, in high school. I got my period in high school in Form 1. And, no, I shouldn't say me. I just use me as a term. And this child, when she got it, she was unaware of what was happening. And we all were actually, because we didn't know anything about it. So I believe this is something that the schools are lacking at the moment, because it's still happening where children doesn't even know um, like what to experience, when to
Mm,
experience, or what should
mm.
I do? What should I get? How do I inform my parents or my mother that I'm having this? I know some of them are a bit shy, and I believe that we could you can extend it to the schools, like on every day you visit us, not a school in the area, informing, giving them that information. I think that could go a long way, because we still see it happening with children now who are going to start that process.
Correct. And yes, it's something I will definitely look into. Also important to know the age group. I actually lowered it from last year to 11 years. Because I was clearly in the dark. I didn't believe. I was oblivious that 11-year-old and 10-year-old were seeing their cycle. So I actually dropped the age this year to 11 to
Oh,
address
that's
that
great.
issue. Yeah. But that is a very valid, that's a good idea actually, and I may look into it. Yeah.
I like what I just hear. I know I just making sure that people play nice in terms of their speaking time. But with that in mind, though, Miss Judy, let us know now if someone wants to, because it seems as though you're very community oriented, looking at the individuals who would patronize you. So there's a term I learned: hand wash hand and two hand wash face. So if someone is trying to get in contact with SNS Persad or wants a partner, because this partnership is a very powerful thing, how do they reach out to you? And I'll ask you the same thing as well after Zakiya in terms of giving contact information as well. So Ms.
Oh,
Judy?
boss. Yeah, I'm here. I was just getting a call. I'm using my phone, sorry.
Yeah.
So, our boss, Miss Sunita Persad, she doesn't hesitate to give out her number to anyone. Anyone who asks, we are allowed to give it to her, to give it to them. Also, my number is one of the numbers that a lot of companies or even citizens in the Miara Rio Clara area would call me. So my number is always there. And Sunita's number is always there. And then we have our phone numbers at each location has a landline number, which is accessible. So if you wish, we can give it out, and that's not a problem.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much. So we getting it now, or people people looking on the pages?
Well, we have our Facebook page, and all those numbers that I just said are available on our Facebook, Instagram. I think that's it.
All right, thank you very
Facebook and
much.
Instagram, yeah.
Great. And you have the last word, Ms. Gill.
My first name is Zakiya, Zakiya, speaks@gmail.com. I'm more responsive to emails than WhatsApp. Unfortunately.
No, man, you don't know yourself too, so it's not a problem.
We
Yeah.
also have our email address, which is snspersad@gmail.com, which everybody would normally send their emails or their requests to.
Great.
Mhm.
So, ladies, I want to thank you all so much for the work that you're doing and continuing to do. And more power to you. Once again, Project Elevation, Freedom Flow, addressing period of poverty. At this point in time, because it looked like it's growing and it's growing, right? At this point in time, Guayaguayare, but we're looking and seeing where it will be by the next time we speak. And we're very grateful that you've been able to share this information with us. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, this has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you so much for joining us.